Today I'm going to show you 4 beginner-friendly recipes. These are easy recipes that you can do for water bath and pressure canning.
We're gonna do bruschetta in a jar and the water bath canner. So you're gonna start with clean jars, and we're going to add some grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, a little bit of basil, a couple cloves of garlic, some more tomatoes, and some pickling spices. We're also going to add some vinegar to this and fill the jar to a 1-inch headspace. The headspace is the area between the top of the food line and the top of the jar. Next, we're going to wipe the rims of the jars to make sure that they are clean. You can use a dampened or dry towel to do this, and sometimes I even use a little bit of white vinegar. Next, we're going to add our lids to the jars. You want to make sure that the lids and the rings are both clean. We're going to center the lid onto the jar, and using 3 fingers, we're just going to lightly put this on the jar, spinning until it engages. Now we're ready to put our bruschetta into the canner. Once you have your jars full, you're going to put them in the water bath canner for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you're going to remove them and let them cool on the countertops for 24 hours. In my house, when we put our shelf-stable food in our pantry, we leave it there for 1 to 3 years, rotating first in and first out, meaning that we eat every food that we can within a 1 to 3 year window for the best nutritional value and consistency of the food. First in, first out. We're always eating the oldest food first and putting the newest in the back. When I'm ready to use my bruschetta in a jar, there's many different ways that I cook and I serve this. Sometimes I make a traditional bruschetta where I take a baguette with a little bit of the bruschetta in a jar, some cheese, and some olive oil, and I stick that under the broiler for a few minutes. But we also use it in other dishes like pasta and on pizza for toppings. It's a very versatile recipe, and I hope you enjoy it. We're gonna water bath can a no-pectin blackberry jam. You're gonna start with your blackberries on the stove and get those mashed down. Then we're going to add our sugar, and we're gonna continue cooking this down until it reduces by half. Next, we're gonna put our blackberries and sugar on the stove, and we're going to heat that over medium heat. You wanna stir and mash as they're heating, and a little pro tip, you can use a potato masher to make this go faster. Once your blackberry jam has reduced down and you filled your jars, we're going to put this in a water bath canner fully submerged with 1 to 2 inches of water above the top for 10 minutes. This is good on your shelf for years to come. We love this on toast, but we especially love this as an ice cream topping. Canning chicken is one of my favorite shelf-stable meats. So here I have white boneless chicken breast that I've cubed into 1-inch pieces, and that is all that's in this jar. With pressure canning, you don't need salt, but you can add it if you want it for a little flavor. The chicken is also going to make its own broth, so when I open a jar of this, I can drain off the broth and make a gravy to go with the chicken. It's also great as like a chicken salad or to throw into any of your favorite pasta or pizza dishes. A pint-sized jar of chicken is going to run for 75 minutes in your pressure canner. You're going to want to check your canning books to make sure that you use the correct PSI. For my elevation, that's a 10. So it's a 10 PSI for 75 minutes for 1 pint. Having canned chicken on our shelves means it doesn't need any refrigeration. It means that I can make a quick meal in 15 minutes or less because everything in the jar is already cooked. This is going to stay good on your shelves for 1 to 3 years, so make sure that you write the expiration date on all of your jars. When canning your Great Northern white beans, you want to make sure that you rinse them first and then pull out any of the broken ones or ones that don't look good to use. For every quart-sized jar, you're going to use 1 cup of beans, and then we're going to fill that with water or broth to a 1-inch headspace. You can add salt to this if you like, but it's not necessary, and you can add any spices to the jars that you like as well. Other fun things to add to the jar are like garlic, celery, and onions. Go ahead and have fun with it, make it your own. You're going to process your quart-sized jars for 90 minutes in your pressure canner for your elevation. When canning beans that are not pre-soaked, if you're canning them in a water or a broth, what happens in the pressure canner is they become soft. The bean shells will actually absorb the liquid and they will start to expand in the jar. That makes them really flavorful and perfectly tender when you're ready to eat them.